Guys, I did a thing. We did a thing, didn't we?
We did. We got her. I told you there'd be more videos to come.
I don't know if any of you guys remember this horse, but hi Chica! Hi Chica, baby! Hey! Hi, love! Hello! Hello! Hi, baby! I got Chica back. Good morning, YouTube. Yeah, we're doing lots of fun things. Lots of fun stuff. So, and the little clips that I inserted in the beginning of the video, I did get my very first horse back, Chica. And to say that I'm excited about that is beyond an understatement. Like, that's my baby. So I am extremely grateful to have been able to get her back. Extremely grateful for the people that took care of her and loved her all of this time while I didn't have her, and now she's coming back better than ever. I'm so much more mature, and I know so much more now than I did then, and I'm grateful that I get to share that experience with her. And I've never had a bond like this with any other horse, and I've worked with so many, and I've never been able to bond like that with another one. She's the exception, pretty much. We all know horses don't love like dogs do. They don't get that same kind of emotional attachment. She's the exception to that. I'm dead serious. Anyways, moving on. We also got a brand new AQHA mare, Cimarron's Blue Babe. We call her Bluebell. Talk about gorgeous. Okay, this mare is a showstopper, head turner. She is beautiful. So, we did trade Annie for her. This was pretty crazy how it all worked out. And Annie was grade. And to be able to have traded a grade horse for something that's bred and built like Bluebell, pretty wild. But we've got a really nice connection with a trainer in Aubrey who has several horses go through her barn all the time. She picked up Cimarron last week, or Bluebell last week, and showed her to us before she did any real work with her, before she posted her or anything. Let us kind of have first dibs if we wanted. And she mentioned that she had a client looking for a horse specifically like Annie, and she'd be able to turn around and sell her for more than she even bought Bluebell for, if I can even talk. So it worked out to where we could trade, which is insane. Like, she didn't lose any money. In fact, she gained a couple $1,000s from selling Annie, and we got an absolute asset to the business. Oh my God. We're incredibly excited to see where this mare is going to take us, to see what she can do. We've got shows planned all year long. Big plans. We're going to be showing ranch riding all year. There's a couple of places in Gainesville and in Aubrey that have 3 show series running from January to December. So 2021 season, here we are. We're excited. You know, I don't know how strong we're going to be able to start off, but we're gonna keep at it. We're gonna keep at it, whether we turn up and turn out, or we turn up and blow them out of the water. Like, we're gonna keep at it all year long. So I'm excited about that. I'm gonna be showing Chica. However, she does have some back issues related to an injury since even before I got her. So from a very long time ago when she was very young, she did have an injury that led to some pretty serious back issues. So she's got wedge shoes that kind of give her a lift in the front to help her upper back, because the East Texas Farriers really like to chop their heels right off, and that's where she was this entire time, was in East Texas. And the people that had her did the best that they could to take care of her. Didn't quite have the right tools, but they did the best that they could, so that's not on them whatsoever. That is completely on the farrier, but I've got a really good one here. He's helping her out. Our vet does chiropractic work, so I'm gonna get her to look at her before we get into too heavy work. You know, make sure Chica's is in good a shape as possible. Lisa may or may not be able to show for the first few series, especially while we're getting Bluebell into the program. Bluebell is broke to ride, but even for 8 years old, she's pretty green. She was kind of one of those back burner horses from the breeder that they got her from. So I've got a lot of work to do with her, but she so far is a pleasure to work with. She's so smart, so intelligent. She's quiet, but a little bit more on the reactive side. So if I can just direct that energy that she's got into a job, she's gonna be amazing. Absolutely amazing. And she's built like a bulldozer. So I'm extremely excited to see where this mare is gonna go. But yeah, so that's how things are going. I am on my way over there right now to play with them a little bit. It is 45 degrees Fahrenheit outside, so it's cold. For us Texas, us Southern folk, this is way too cold for us. So I'm overcoming the mental obstacle of it being cold. I know that there's people further up north, or maybe even people who like the cold weather down here, that are gonna be like, oh, that's not a big deal, suck it up. Like, okay, that's what I'm doing, I'm sucking it up. Like, I get it, message taken. Not gonna get anywhere if I don't put in the effort. So that's what we're doing. I'll see you guys in a few minutes. I'm gonna try to get some video of doing groundwork. May or may not try to ride. I am gonna be by myself, so I'm really iffy about that, but we'll see where things go. Especially because it's cold, they might be a little bit fresh. I might just stick to groundwork, but we'll see. Anyway, see you in a few. All I want is to catch this horse. She apparently is a stampede instigator. It's no longer freezing outside for me because I have walked about 2 miles already. Exaggerating, trying to catch this horse. There's 16 acres of pasture out here that she is stampeding this entire herd across. She's not even in charge of the herd. And yet she's stampeding them all around just because she doesn't want to be caught. It's a good thing I'm stubborn. And the humans are persistence predators. Because by the time I catch this horse, after I wear her out from stampeding across the pasture about 10 times, I just might kill her. Again, exaggerating, but I just might. Anyways. Mission accomplished. It pays to be stubborn. You girls growing up, that they tell you you're too hard-headed, you're too stubborn, and you're too bossy, work it to your advantage, girl. Take that energy and use it to your advantage. Don't be a B-word about it. I'm gonna be nice. Don't be that about it, but use it to your advantage, because then you can catch a mare. Okay, so I know this isn't going to be the greatest angle, but this is all I've got right now to try and video this ride, so here we go. So here in this clip,
you can see here when I get into frame, I'm going to be really working on trying to get her to move her hindquarters. In the past, I've had a tendency to kind of overdo my cues and hike my leg way too far up and too far back to where it almost looks like I'm aiming for her flanks, which obviously isn't nice to look at, and it's not comfortable for me or the horse either. So I did my research on that last night on a better way to be able to move her hindquarters, which I can do on the ground, but in the saddle has always been a struggle for me. So she's already really good. She knows how to move her hindquarters and how to move her forehand. She even knows how to side pass. So here you can see she's going to try to look for a few answers to what I'm asking her. So she's going to try to side pass a little. She's going to try to back up a little bit until she gets the idea. And when I feel like she's really getting it down, I'm going to release, try something else, and go back to it and revisit it. But I'm not going to constantly drill it into her. Overall, I was extremely happy with how this ride went. I feel like I definitely learned a lot. So we're going to keep working on this for sure. And yes, I am aware my saddle does slip a bit too far back. I did make sure to tighten my cinch before I got on. I guess maybe it wasn't enough. Not a big deal. We weren't doing super heavy work. It didn't really affect anything. So yeah, overall, I was pretty happy with it. Now here I'm going to be working on something called hindquarters forequarters. So once I get her past that sticky spot, there we go, I'm going to be asking her first to move her hindquarters, and once I feel like she's got that there, I'm going to ask her to step her front end over. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but the idea is there. I can feel a difference when I'm on her, and again, the more we practice this, the better we're going to get at it. I'm feeling really confident with this right now. She's definitely got the idea down. She is very rusty. She's had a lot of time off, about 3 years almost, not doing real training work like this, so we're just knocking the rust off, but overall she's doing fantastic. And now, as in anything in training, because you don't want to overly drill something into a horse and make it boring or tedious for them, once you kind of get your mission accomplished, or at least feel like you've got the lesson down, you want to go ahead and move them out of it. So here in a second, I'm going to go ahead and ask her to trot off and walk away from it before we ever go back to revisiting it, just to get her mind refreshed and get her back focusing. A lot of times if you introduce the subject to them first, then take it away, let them do something else familiar, and then revisit the subject, they're a lot more liable to learn from that and to come back stronger when you revisit that lesson.
excellent.
Right there, I did something that I knew she was able to do, but now that we had been visiting the whole being able to independently move her hindquarters, I thought it might be a little bit easier for her if I added some momentum with it just to encourage that movement. So I was backing her up and then asking her to move her hindquarters as well. So that's what we were doing. I was asking her to back up and asking her to move her hindquarters at the same time, which ended up being pretty successful. Here in a minute, I'll be doing it again. Hopefully it looks a little bit better from that angle.
So the ride wasn't like perfect by any means. Technically anyway. It was great. It was a great ride. Chica, she was perfect as always. She is perfect. I don't care if we don't get everything 100% technically right now. Like, she's basically had a 3-year break from the time that I sold her to having her back now. So for her to come off of that still broke, still remembering all of her training, she's just a little rusty. Like, that's it. Like, I couldn't ask for better, seriously. It would be extremely selfish of me to think that I could ask for better. Like, I don't know. She means the world to me. So, we worked on yielding the hindquarters and the forehand. I know that our forehand movement wasn't 100%. She can do much better than that. My biggest focus was being able to move the hindquarters. That is something that I've struggled with a lot in training, whether it was her or other horses. That's something I've really had some trouble with. So I did my research last night. Do I have something on my face? I do. Anyway, I did my research last night on doing that, on moving it, and there is a trainer on YouTube, Tristan Baroni. If you guys can look him up, 100% fantastic. Meyer Company ranch horses. If he sees this and hears this, like, please, Tristan, know that your style is fantastic. So I've learned a lot, from my experience these past 10 years that I've been training. But you never stop learning. You never stop growing. And that is 100% true in this time in my life right now when I'm considering showing all year long, at least once, if not twice a month, all year long, on not only the first horse that I ever trained, but on horse number, I don't know. Bluebell's gonna make, I don't know, the 1,000th horse I've ever worked with. No, that's exaggeration. I like to do that a lot, apparently. But, I've had a lot of experience from the time that I started with Chica to now. I didn't do a whole lot with Bluebell. It was an important lesson. It was still important. I spent about 20 minutes chasing that horse across the pasture. And I wasn't chasing her. I wasn't going to run after her. We've got to reinforce the fact that catching the horse is not a bad thing. She's pretty nervous about that. I'm looking at them all right now. They're so cute. She's pretty nervous about being caught, apparently. Whenever you catch her and you handle her, she's great. She's wonderful to work with. She's such a pleasant horse to work with. But catching her is the problem. And especially on 16 acres, like, that's a problem. And there's thorns and thorny trees. I don't want to go through that all the time. So what I did with her today is when I finally caught her, put the halter on, stood there a minute, made the little video showing that I did finally catch her. Mission accomplished. Stay stubborn, y'all. I just stood there for a few minutes, petted her, fix the strap that fell off of her blanket. Like, no big deal, nice, calm, relax, and then I let her go. Reinforcing that it's not always a bad thing to be caught. So we're going to work on that a little bit. Obviously, I can't do that forever. I'm going to have to work with her sometimes, but for now, if that's what I have to do for the next couple of days while she's still adjusting and settling in, that's what I'll do. And I think I see that she got another strap, like one of her belly straps fell off. So I don't know if I can go catch her to do that either. Honestly, if she'll even let me close enough to do that. But we'll work on that. Anyways, like I said, stay stubborn, use it to your advantage, and we'll see you guys next time.